Hello, everyone, and welcome to another inspiring episode of CV's Creators Value. I'm your host, Francis, and I'm one of the co-founders of Creators Value. At CV's, we explore the stories behind creators, their purpose, their challenges, and the value they bring to the world. Become a part of the conversation. Well, today, I'm definitely honored to sit down with Dave Decker. Dave, welcome to the show, and we're so glad to have you with us. It is such an honor to have you.
Thank you for having me. What a great opportunity. I really appreciate it.
As a dog owner myself, I think it's an honor to know your story. You went through few people could actually just endure. Can you take us back to that moment in 2008?
Sure. Actually, it was 1998, and I was a commercial carpenter. I was up about 3 stories, and my scaffold fell over. And I landed on my left side, broke my spine, ribs, hips, pelvis, internal organs. And I tried to get up and walk away. Then I kept falling down, realizing I had a problem. I was immediately sent to the trauma center. I had gotten word to one of my crew to take care of my dog, Hershey. After about 2 weeks, I literally checked myself out because she had broken out of my friend's place. He was actually up for adoption, and I caught him at the last minute. I was calling all these like SPCA in Fort Lauderdale, and they said, we were just about to adopt him out. He's an amazing dog, 125-pound chocolate lab, very docile, very smart. They brought him to the hospital, and I checked myself out in the middle of a storm. They actually had to take me off the gurney and slide me through the back window of a car because I had hip braces on and a spine brace. And then they set up my place like a hospital the next day. So I had the hospital bed and the nurses coming. Hershey was kind of mad at me. He thought I had left him. And then he sniffed my legs and realized something happened. After that, bedridden, and the orthopedic said, you better get used to that wheelchair. And I said, you have no idea who I am. And he said, that's the attitude that's going to get you up and walking again. I started walking on my own. I forced myself to walk. After that, I moved back up north to Pennsylvania for better medical care, University of Penn. And I moved to a town named New Hope, PA, which is a river town, very famous. And I found a little place there, and it was Hershey I had to take care of him. So I had to get up and walk him every day. And they said had I not been forced to walk and take care of my dog, edema would have set in and I probably would have been in a wheelchair. 90 milligrams of morphine a day, and it didn't even cover the pain levels. So I went through that for 7 years, battling an insurance company, and I won. And I made case law history twice in the state of Florida. Got my life back, and the community was so nice to me, I wanted to find a way to give back. And I started a website with an information clearinghouse because every time we Googled something, we couldn't get the right information as far as dog symptoms. So I was using veterinarians to vet the information, and I started a little website so people can go to and find out information about their dogs. Diet, health issues, ticks, things like environmental. And Chamber of Commerce, I said, hey, I want to roll this out. And he said, oh, we'll do it at the high school. We'll just put out like a dozen tables. It'll be a nice little event. I said, oh, great. It turned into 30 vendors, a live band, hay rides for dogs and their families, and 1,200 people with dogs showed up. And that was in 2010. And I invited all these rescues and shelters, and they thought I was being exploitive. And after the event, they all came up and thanked me. And they said, we raised money. We had fosters signed up with us. And apparently it had a cumulative effect over the course of every year after the event. They kept benefiting from it. And they all came up and thanked me. But it was a big battle because everything I do is so out of the box and innovative that it's very hard for people to understand. But it was very successful. And that was our 2010 event. I started the website in 2008, rolled it out in 2010, and then the next year we were doing 2,500 people a day with dogs. For 3 years after that, then I couldn't do it anymore. I said I have to get sponsors and put a team in place. So now, hopefully, we're going to start doing that again. I'm with Viva TV now, and they're going to fund everything I'm doing.
That was your physical body standing up from that challenge, but then mentally and emotionally you stood up and created the dog daddy movement, and that is super powerful, isn't it? I'd like to go back to Hershey though, because thought that you might have left, he was confused. How do you think Hershey helped you in this?
In general, dogs are instinctual. So when there was a problem, he would sit down on me real hard in the middle of the night and wake me. And I learned I had maybe an issue or a spider bite and it was venomous, and I had a lot of medical issues at that time, so I'd have to get to the doctor. So these dogs, one of them, Aussie Shepherd, headbutted a friend of mine in her breast, and she had a lump, and apparently it was a cancerous tumor. She said, take it out. She went to the doctor and said, take it out. So these dogs warn people of epilepsy, health issues. So not only did he keep me in check, I didn't have much of a social life. So when I went out, I met other dog people, other dog walkers. It was very good for my psyche and my mental health, because I was being tortured by a crooked insurance company every day. We would walk around the park, and then I would sit a little bit, get up and force myself to walk a little more for him, because he needed the exercise, and I'd swim him in the canal, and I had to care for him. Then I realized he had grain allergies. I took him to an amazing vet I had, and she said, get him off grain. So I would cook for him. I would make him beef stews with rice and freeze them for the month, the containers, and shredded carrots and broccoli and all these things, not realizing that I was buying really healthy things for Hershey to cook. So I just set some aside for myself, eating healthy as well.
Our viewers, they know you about Dog Daddy, but we would love to know what's next.
So all these poor rescues getting together, they're all clamoring for the same grant monies and trying to get people. And my whole idea behind Dog Daddy was an information clearinghouse, something cohesively to bring the global dog community to one spot. So everybody's on the same page, everybody's more efficient. They could trade tips and ideas and foster and rescue dogs amongst each other, improve the lives of dogs through this knowledge. So it's basically bringing everybody to one spot, which now we're on Viva TV International, and they got funding and they're going blow wide open, and we're their only animal channel. So I'm going to develop a whole animal channel program, but it's based on this philosophy. It's not exploitive, not exploitive. It's all about the dogs. People tune into their dogs. And I remember walking with some people saying, falling apart, I lost my dog. I never used to be like that. At a certain point, dogs keep working on you, and they end up connecting with you on a very deep level. And they become your child, or you have that significant connection where you become emotionally attached. They're the ones who do it to you. I believe they rope you in, they bring you in a little bit at a time, and they make you work to connect with them on an emotional level. People have gotten to the point, and people would look at me and say, you're crazy. It's just a dog. I said, that dog saved my life. And they do save our lives. When we're having bad emotional times, they pick up on that and they comfort us.
Stay tuned for the next episode.